Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews with your hosts, Beastmaker2448 and Rapid Epsilon.
Hi.
Oh, and since I forgot, it's like March 19th. It's about to be March 20th for me. I'm just gonna say this up front. It doesn't have anything to do with our double episodes, but I think I'm done after this week on Geo.
That bad?
I'll be like, I've already told you about the episode, so you know what's in that episode for like practically speaking. I don't think the subs are going to change that because I don't think I need context for anything I saw. Just to toss it out there. Because I think what I'm thinking is happening in the episode is what's happening because, you know, you can tell a lot just through body language and general interactions. But that episode's got to have something really interesting or something to keep me around because I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm tired of watching these idiots go in circles for a stupid thing that I'm not invested in anymore. Because I feel like we're going in circles at this point, and we're probably going to keep going in circles.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
At least Ryu Solger, from what I've seen subbed, because it's now subbed, is good. And apparently it was good enough that somehow randomly 2 people replied to me on Twitter when I talked about it. Because I just said, hey, it's good. We still need a couple more episodes to really get a feel for the show. Because, yeah, this premiere is really good visually speaking, but it's all set up and it's paced really fast for setup because we kind of blaze through a lot of material in a half hour. So keep that in mind. So we need about 2 to 3 episodes more to kind of get to what I feel could be a standard episode of the show. And how that standard episode will be is how I feel the rest of the show is going to be. Because the new Power Rangers that's adapting Go Busters, that's called Beast Morphers, just had its 3rd episode premiere this past weekend. That 3rd episode felt really like what a standard episode of the show is going to feel like, and that was fine. It wasn't spectacular like the premiere or the 2nd episode, but it was fine. So I feel like the rest of the season is going to be like that. Because I feel like you will have a drop in quality from a premiere. Not much, mind you, depending on the show. Sometimes it's larger, but if you go from a premiere to a 4th episode and you're still good, the show's going to be good from there, probably. Unless there's a severe drop somewhere in there, writing-wise. Which can happen. But you see the trajectory of the show 4 or 5 episodes in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I think if a show has a filler episode and that filler episode is really good and you can kind of go, yeah, I dug this episode that has nothing to do with the main plot of the show, that really tells you the quality of the show that you're okay with a filler episode. For instance, I could watch an episode of Double that is just them, just a bottle episode of them, of them coming and going from different random cases in Double that have nothing to do with Opons and stuff, and I would probably be immensely entertained by it because it's just the characters interacting with each other, and that's what makes Double really good. Yeah, thought I'd throw that out there. It was so weird to have someone, like, the first person who replied, I agree. And then the second person was talking about how, like, not a whole lot of Toku shows have really nailed their shows after their premieres, except, like, RPM. And I'm like, I don't know about your opinion, but okay, sure. Because he was talking about, like, that drop in quality from premieres, and I'm like, there's always going to be a drop from a premiere because, like, you really want a good premiere because you get people in on episode 1. So you really shore up all your holes in episode 1. Plus, like, I think you would have longer to make an episode 1 than you have going forward. Especially on the writing end.
Yeah. I think he'd be right on that.
But anyway, we've got 4 episodes of Double to talk about. Episodes 35 through 38. Beyond the R and Visitor X 2-parters. Overview-wise, this is our trial debut 2-parter and our first 2-parter, I guess, that pushes us into, like, the final arc of the show, because we're kind of out of a 2-episode format from here on out with Double, kind of. Like, episodes are still formatted as 2-parters, but from here on out, there's just one long overarching story that'll take precedent over everything. But any thoughts real quick before we go in?
No.
Alright. We're going to kick things off with episode 35, The Ring Called Monster Approaches. Written by Keiji Hasegawa and directed by Ryuta Tazaki. So we start off at a zoo. I don't know if we got a name for the zoo, but a zoo in Japan. Terry's having flashbacks to his little sister giving him the necklace that he's had. I think we've seen it before in several episodes, but it's never really been called attention to.
I think you're right.
This is one of the things of like, oh yeah, that's there. But like, this is the first time we get focus on it. But yeah, he's gonna have a flashback because his sister gave it to him there. And then he sees someone who kind of looks like his sister, and double checking the cast. What's that? Oh, it is 2 different people. I thought it was the same person for a second. No, it is actually 2 different people. I thought they did one of those things where, oh, this person who looks like the person I know is in fact looks super close to them, like they're almost the same person. But Terry sees her push over some kid that's trying to talk to her for like no reason. He goes over to talk to her about it and finds a very elaborate port for a Gaia memory on her arm. And when he tries to talk to her about it, she essentially draws attention from the crowd using the very old Japanese method of call some guy a pervert, and everyone is immediately like, the fuck? I find it hilarious that that is a thing that happens in every single Japanese show. Yeah, that eventually lets her get away, even though, just before she does, Shotaro and Akiko show up, I guess to rescue the girl, because they were there as well on a case. But the girl gets away, and we cut the opening, because that's our cold open for the episode. And I actually have marked where the opening takes place for once. Yeah, coming out of the opening, Shotaro tries to ask questions like, what's going on? But he does not feel like he's not feeling cooperative today because flashbacks, and this is his focus episode, so he's not in the mood for stuff this week. But we find out that Shotaro and Akiko were hired by a group of kids that go to the zoo to cheer up their bird lady friend who talks to them about the birds all the time because she's sad. And they try to give Jotaro a piggy bank full of change as payment. But Jotaro immediately declines, saying that he doesn't need money. He just wants to see them happy. So he's taking the case for free because that is Jotaro's character in a nutshell. But we get from there to the Sonozakis, where Ryubei is very upset that a memory he has in storage from some nondescript location that we don't get mentioned, or we're not told where is, was stolen. And he immediately looks to Weather like, the fuck you pulling? I know it's you. You know I know. Well, let's talk about it. But he just is like, I'm gonna cash in on my vow from 10 years ago. And it's essentially he wants to take down Terror. As he tells Sayako, off a little bit later. But we go from there, back to the girl as Shotaro and Ryusei and crew find her. They try to talk to her, but again, she's not very talkative until we get a sudden rainstorm. And we find out, oh, by the way, Weather killed her father by lightning strike, which he looks fairly okay for being struck by lightning.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are less charred than you should be, good sir. Extremely so. Yeah, Weather's the one that stuck Quetzalcoatl. I'm just gonna call it Quetzalcoatl. I think there's an extra part added to it, but it's Quetzalcoatl. Wiki, what is the name? Trying to find the name. Quetzalcoatlus. It's Quetzalcoatl. They literally refer to the is it Mayan? Not Mayan. Aztec. The Aztec Quetzalcoatl in the episode, so I'm just gonna call it Quetzalcoatl. I think it's supposed to be referencing the dinosaur bird, since that's what we see in the episode. But yeah, Weather is the one that implanted her with the Quetzalcoatl memory, which is just a regular Dopop memory with wings on it, which means it's special. But yeah, Terry gives her his necklace as a, don't be scared, as long as you have this, everything will be fine, before Weather shows up. And then Axel and Double fight Weather, which does not go well, as Weather proceeds to try to drown Double and mops the floor with Axel, because he knows better than to deal with Extreme this week, because we are just fresh off, we are not that far from the Extreme debut. I will die to this. I have almost died to the Extreme, I think twice now. No, please. But since the both of them are taken out, Akiko's the last one standing, and she tries, but she goes nowhere with that one. Weather tries to take her, but Double goes Extreme, and Weather runs because he knows better. And she runs off because Terry was practically useless in this fight because he doesn't have trial yet. Back at the office, we find out that she's super compatible with the Quetzalcoatl memory, which is why Weather is trying to use it on her and try to steal its powers, which apparently gives Weather wings, as we see later. Which I don't know how that's supposed to help him defeat Terror. I don't. Is that supposed to keep him out?
Can fly over Terror's scoop?
I guess, but he can move it up, and also, like, unless you're strong enough to take him, you're only going to delay the inevitable. So
yeah,
I'm not sure how well this plan is going.
Well, we know it doesn't go too well anyhow.
Yeah, also Ryubei is not intimidated at all by his plan, and I think he knows full well what he's planning, so I don't know if it was going to work anyway, even if he did succeed. But we also find out that if the bird lady is afraid, it does speed up the growth of the connector. So as long as she stays brave, we're fine. Then we cut to, I guess, Weather and Sayako's like hotel room somewhere, or just their private room, where we get a bit of Weather's backstory, where he was a doctor and kind of washed up and had no idea what to do until he saw Terror kill a bunch of random people for like no fucking reason. And he's like, I want that power. I want to be that. And Ryubei kind of brushed him off. So now he just wants the Terror memory because he wants the powers that Terror has, which that makes more sense than just straight up defeat him. It's like, oh, I want his Terror memory, which why aren't you trying to steal Sayako's memory at that point?
Not strong enough, maybe?
Well, also, like, does he know that Claydol can, like, essentially resurrect herself when she's broken? Wouldn't that be a good power needed for his plan?
I would think.
Or is he not trying to rustle as many feathers at the moment? Like, if I go after them, Terror is on my ass, so I need him out of the picture before I can take their memories. Because I feel like he has, like, zero loyalty to anyone involved in the situation.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to take down Terror. Sayako's on board because everyone goes crazy in the Sonozaki family at some point except Philip and the cat, I guess.
Well, I mean, question mark on the cat.
Well, here's the thing. Spoiler for the end of the series. The cat's the only one that was a main Sonozaki family dopant that survives the end of the series. He's even, like, Philip adopts him and he just hangs out in the office now. Like, they just destroy his belt and his memory, and now he's just a regular cat that hangs out in the office. Which, wow, the cat got off easy than anyone else in this family. But
Yeah.
Terry, after hearing all the info dump on Bird Lady, ran off to go find Shroud because he needs a power-up, so he's gonna go to the person that gave him his equipment to start with. And Shroud says, get angry or fuck off. So Terry gets angry and threatens her. So he gets his new toy. Shojo's keeping an eye on our bird girl in the meantime while Terry's busy. And he has a lot of faith in Terry in this, which I guess shows a lot of the development of where we started with these two and where we are now. Because keep this in mind, when we first met Terry, he was A, extremely vengeful, B, ready to kill a civilian out of their monster form, and C, Shotaro didn't like him. Like, at all.
Yeah.
So, Terry has came a long way, and I honestly feel like as much as Shroud is poking and prodding him to kind of like get back on his vengeance hard on, he never once falters and like regresses. Which I guess really shows how far he's come. Yeah, Weather shows up and decides to be a dick and turns Toucan Sam into a Dopont. I am very angry with him. Why you going messing with Toucan Sam? So he's now the Centaur Dopont. Yep.
That was all it was.
Yeah, so Toucan Sam is a Dopont, carries off Bird Lady, Shotaro gives chase, and when they try to grab the flying attachment to the hard boiler, they find out, oh, Terry's little Wally artillery cannon just decided to tag along, and he's here, and I guess we're gonna use it. And they use it in conjunction with Extreme to kind of take out the Dopont, and Toucan Sam's okay, we see him fly away, and I guess he's fine. That's all that matters. And we find out that Terry is going to need to do some motocross stuff next episode related to his new form. So, taking us into episode 36, Surpass Them All. Weather still is hanging around, but Double once more tells him to fuck off, or else he's going to be the one the memory breaks him to this week, which is not going to be the case, so go away, Weather. You know, I miss when the villain would just run. Would just have a way to run, and they would run if we needed to end the fight early. Because that's one thing Geo doesn't do. We just blow up the monster, but it's not permanent.
Yeah, no.
Because I feel like this helps sell the fact of, like, yeah, we know, like, Weather has taken, like, I think 2 different finishers from Double Extreme, and he's just barely came out of it kicking. So he knows that he can't fight Extreme and take a finisher from them. Or he can't take a memory break from them. So he has to duck Double every chance he gets, while still trying to accomplish his plans. It's like, this is good booking, to use a wrestling term. Like, we've seen the fight, we know how this fight will go, but Weather is too smart as the heel and refuses to do the fight. And also because we can't have Weather die to him, because otherwise that fucks Terry's character arc. But back with Terry at the motocross track, Shroud gives him the trial memory, which he tests out to transform, and we see a yellow Axel before he gets his proper trial form. Which, just to put this out here, folks, Double was popular enough that for the Figure Arts line, guess what they released?
What?
The yellow the yellow Axel form. For no reason other than, here's the yellow Axel form you see for 3 seconds in between him going from his base form to trial. Why? Because it's the quick and easy repaint, and here you go. I think it was even a retail release. I actually want to check that. Oh, I need to go back 1 more year. Oh, it was display only? I thought they actually released it. My bad.